Once the futures trading of Bitcoin starts and institutional investors come in, it may be an assurance that the currency is considered as a subject of investment in the financial system. Then we may say that virtual currencies, or Bitcoin, are now a well-recognized target of investment.
Now, owning Bitcoin is a lot like being on a roller coaster. The cryptocurrency has seen several dramatic rises and falls, which is probably why some, including the legendary investor Warren Buffett, have warned people to stay away from it. But despite its volatility, some still see it as the future of finance. The US Securities Exchange Commission has so far rejected approving the first exchange-traded fund for cryptocurrencies. But that could change by the end of the year. So is the future looking bright for Bitcoin, or is the bubble about to burst? Well, to find out more, let's go to Daniele Bianchi, and he's an assistant professor in the finance group at Warwick Business School. Thanks so much for joining us, Daniele. So what do you think? Is Bitcoin about to burst?
Well, somebody would say that actually the bubble already burst, because if you look at the price about a year ago, so back in December 2017, we were talking about $20,000 for a Bitcoin, and now we're talking about $6,000 for a Bitcoin, which is obviously far more than the original price of Bitcoin per se. But I think to some extent we can actually say that the bubble already burst, or at least is on the price is on a downward trajectory, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Now, there was so much hope, so many people investing. What went so wrong? Why is it now at this stage?
I think the main reason is that Bitcoin is still doesn't have really attraction in terms of both being a method of payment is still not widely used, and the other side of the story is that it's not widely used as an investment per se, which basically prevents him to be widely diffused, and therefore, I mean, there is no really value in it so far. It's not so diffused that the people can really believe that it's a viable investment instrument for retails, especially, as well as a method of payment.
Okay.
I think that's the underlying story.
Now, could this all change, though, depending on the US securities decision?
I think we are a long way to get the ETF approved. People talk about 2019. I'm a bit skeptical. I don't think we're going to see any ETF on Bitcoin over the next, at least 6 months or so, let alone ETF that tracks the whole cryptocurrency market. I think that would be very, very far away. And obviously, I mean, without ETF, you don't really have very liquid and low and cheap instrument to trade Bitcoin per se, which again is going to probably affect the price of Bitcoin in the next future as well.
Okay, so Warren Buffett, a man that knows a lot about what to do with his money, he's saying stay away. So you agree with this?
I think you can invest in Bitcoin if you're willing to take the risk, but not certainly if you're a retail investor, I guess.
All right. Well, and your final thoughts then for people that have put a lot of money into Bitcoin already. What happens there?
Well, I don't want to give any investment recommendation, obviously, but I mean, as I said, it's really up to them. I mean, the important thing is that people understand that this is a very risky asset class. And then, I mean, as I said, if you're willing to take the risk, go for it. If not, act accordingly.
Okay. And one thing that I want you to clarify was the fact that actually mining the Bitcoin and the electricity for this, one of the big things that people missed and misunderstood with Bitcoin.
I mean, the whole mining process is very expensive. So which again prevents all of these things factoring in the adoption, the widely diffusion and adoption of Bitcoin, but other cryptocurrencies as well, because the mining procedure actually it's very similar for other cryptocurrencies as well. So mining and the energy that you need for mining, the costs that are involved for mining, the GPU that are involved for mining. It's as you said correctly, it's an aspect that people don't normally look at, but I think it's an aspect that it's already waiting in the adoption and the diffusion of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as well.
All right, we'll have to leave it there then. Daniele Bianchi, thank you so much for joining us
Thanks for having me
on The Newsmakers. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.